This is Life Skills, Cooking Basics for Teens with Stacy at the Goffstown Public Library. I'm Stacy, the Teen Services Library Assistant. Today we are going to make pizza. We're going to make quick pizza with just simple ingredients you have around the house. Something you can put together for a quick lunch or an easy dinner. And no need to wait for rising dough. We're just going to use some bread that we have laying in the kitchen. And in this video, I'm going to feature some cooking magazines that can be found on Goffstown Public Library's downloadable resources. So let's get started by washing our hands. Okay, so what do we need for pizza? We need a crust, some type of dough. We need pizza sauce and toppings. So we're gonna work on a pizza sauce today that is so simple to put together, you don't even need to put it on the stovetop. And then for our crust, we're gonna use something called naan bread, because that's what I have laying around my house right now. So I'm gonna use this naan bread here as the crust for my pizza. Now, naan bread is a super pliable flatbread. It's used in a lot of Asian, Middle East, and Indian cuisine. It is made with milk or sometimes yogurt instead of water in the dough, and it makes it super, super soft. But it is really versatile, so you can use it for pizza crust. You can actually fold it and use it as like a little tortilla. You can cut it up and use it for dips. Really, really super delicious. So that's what we're gonna use today. If you didn't have naan bread at home, you could use French bread that you have. You could use bagels. Often we use bagels at our house to make little bagel pizzas. So anything as your base, any type of bread that you have will work. So now that we know what we're using for our base, why don't we get our oven going to preheat at 400 degrees. So the back of my naan bread gives me some directions. I'm gonna put my oven on at 400 degrees, and then we're gonna meet back here and work on our sauce. And here are the ingredients you'll need for the pizza sauce. Okay, let's work on our sauce. We are going to combine all the ingredients that we need for our sauce in this bowl right here, and that's it. No need to put it on the stovetop, and you can actually put it in Tupperware or a glass jar. I tend to use glass jars, and keep it in your refrigerator for up to a week. And so you could have pizza all week long if you'd like. To start off our sauce, we are going to empty 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. This is a really, really thick tomato. I've opened one end, but a nice way to take this out is to also use your can opener on the other end. Here we go. So you're opening both ends of the can. And then let's remove the bottom part. I just push it down. Ta-da! And that way you don't have to worry about trying to put anything in here to get everything out. Just open the two ends and throw that down. All right. Take off the... Now you'll notice my bowl is probably a little bit too small for what I'm doing, but unfortunately my other glass bowl that I had has chili in it right now. And so I have to use a smaller bowl, but you would want to really use a medium-sized glass bowl. And here's the reason why I'm using glass, because if I used white plastic bowls like I have, I would probably stain it with our tomato sauce. So another reason why I'm using a red rubber spatula instead of the white one I use sometimes. All right, then we are going to add 15-ounce container of just tomato sauce. Put that right in there. Now you might be asking why we are adding tomato paste to tomato sauce, and the reason is pizza sauce is actually thicker, and the tomato paste helps thicken it. In a pinch, you could use marinara sauce on your pizza dough, but just know that marinara it's a bit of a wetter sauce. It has a little bit more water content in it, so it might make your dough soggy. That's okay. Some people don't mind that, but if you want a nice thick pizzeria type of sauce, this is what we're gonna do. So before we add in our spices, we're just gonna try to mix this enough that our tomato paste combines with our tomato sauce. And then we'll get on to the spices. You'll notice I put my apron on. I don't know if you've seen some of my other videos, but I tend to be messy, and tomato sauce is definitely one of those that I get all over the place sometimes. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, just gonna let that spoon hang out there. We're gonna move on to our measuring spoons, and we're gonna measure out some of our spices for the sauce. So the first thing is Italian seasoning. I use Italian seasoning a lot, so this is my jar of Italian seasoning. Any jar that you have at home, and it does say Italian seasoning on it. So we are going to use full 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. Okay. Put that aside. Next, we're going to use onion powder. We're gonna use a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Right in there. Next, garlic powder. We're gonna use a full teaspoon of garlic powder. Salt. And we're gonna use a full teaspoon of salt. Now, some people put sugar in their pizza sauce. My family does not like sugar in there, so I do not. But if you wanted to add sugar, you would add 1 teaspoon of sugar to your pizza sauce. And then I just add enough pepper that I think I like. There we go. That's maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. And then mix it all together. Go, make sure I get all that off there. And your pizza sauce is done. Okay, so the 2 pizzas I'm going to make for you today are just based on ingredients that I have in my refrigerator. So one of my kids likes just cheese pizza. So I, of course, just have some cheese, and I'm going to make a simple cheese pizza for him. For my other, let's face it, both these boys, when they wake up, are probably gonna be the ones that eat this pizza. So for the other one, I have some leftover steak and cheese. We had steak and cheese subs for dinner, so there's some shaved steak with some onions and peppers in here. I had some left over, so I'm gonna add this to my pizza and have a steak and cheese pizza. So those are the 2 pizzas we're going to make now. You can use whatever leftover ingredients you have. Do you have some vegetables left over? Or do you even just have some peppers and onions? Slice them thin. You can saute them first with a little bit of olive oil in a pan on the stove top, really low, or you can just slice them thin and put them right on your pizza. Maybe you like a pesto pizza, and so you have some pesto at home. Maybe you want just a pizza with no sauce on it, and that's okay too. Anything you want for your toppings. So now, let's assemble our 2 pizzas. All right. So the first pizza we're gonna work on will be our cheese pizza. So I have my bagged cheese right here, some mozzarella, whatever mozzarella you have. And I'm gonna take a dollop, that's what I call it, of our pizza sauce. There we go. I'm gonna get that. So see what I mean by it's nice and thick, so it's not gonna run off anywhere. Just fill all the little crevices. And you put as much sauce as you like. I'm pretty sure I know how much my family likes, so we're gonna go with that. I also like to put just a little bit of pepper on the top of that. And sometimes I like to put a little bit of dried parsley. Okay. I'm just assembling these on a cutting board, And I'm not going to put these on a pan at all. I'm just going to put them right on the middle rack of my oven. So I will be careful with my cheese that I don't run it off the side too much. Go. If you wanted to put other toppings on here, say pepperoni, I would do a small, like a thin layer of the cheese first, so you get a little bit of cheese, then some of your pepperoni, and then top it with some more cheese. But that's it for that one. All right. For the steak and cheese, I'm not gonna put any sauce at all. I'm actually just going to drizzle a tiny bit of olive oil. There we go. I'm gonna take our Italian seasoning. I lost my little spoon, so I will just get a new spoon. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little of the Italian seasoning right on the naan bread. Okay. You are going to get a little messy. It's easier to just use your hands. That's why we wash them. Okay, I'm going to put a bit of the meat mixture. I'm going to give a quick wash of my hands right now because I want to put some cheese, but I don't want to use all that cheese, so I don't want to contaminate it. All right. I'm going to take some of this cheese and I'm actually going to put it right on the side right here. There. I'm going to add some cheese on. A little bit more of the meat. Up and some more of those peppers. All right, and I'm gonna finish it off with the cheese. And I moved the cheese over here like that so that I didn't have to go wash my hands again. All right, press that down. I cannot wait. That's it. Both pizzas are ready to go into the oven. I don't know if you heard, my oven did make the sound that it is preheated and ready to go. So let's get these pizzas in the oven. They're only gonna take about 5 minutes. All right, I'm gonna open our oven right here. I'm gonna put our first pizza in. Like I said, I am just gonna rest it right on the racks. Be careful that you don't burn yourself, and we'll want to use a spatula later on to get them out. So, pizza's in for about 5 minutes. Okay, our pizza is ready to come out. So, I'm gonna pull with a oven mitt. I'm gonna pull the rack out a little bit. I also have a metal spatula. I'm gonna go under one of these, use my mitt, and I'm bringing it right up to that cutting board we used earlier. I've cleaned it off. There we go. Don't forget to turn your oven off. All right, I've allowed my pizzas to cool for a few minutes before I actually slice into them. If you don't let them cool, then the cheese is just gonna run right off, and then that's not a delicious pizza. So I'm taking my knife and I'm just gonna crunch down. Making it shareable. There we go. With a paper towel, I'm just gonna wipe my knife. And I'm doing that for you. My family wouldn't care. I would just slice into the next one. But your family might. So. See, can you hear that crunch that we got? And that is from using no baking pan underneath. letting it sit right on the rack like that. The bottom was able to get golden brown and crunchy. So there you go, easy pizza that you can eat for lunch. I'd eat it for breakfast, or you could eat it for dinner. All right, if you are a teen cook that's really looking for some inspiration, check out this cookbook, After Toast by Kate Gibbs. It's an essential young person's guide to real and really awesome food, and it can be found as a downloadable resource on Hoopla. And for even more inspiration, try checking out a cooking magazine at New Hampshire Downloadables and Libby app, and also RB Digital. So I hope you enjoyed this quick lesson on making easy, simple pizza at home with whatever bread you have in the kitchen. I've jarred up my pizza sauce. I'm gonna put that in the fridge, use it later this week in some other pizzas. I've cut myself a few slices and I'm gonna go enjoy those in a moment. But I wanna thank you for joining me today. So if you enjoy these videos that you're watching, please let us know. You can let us know on our YouTube comments. You can let us know on our Facebook page. You can let us know on our teen Facebook page and even Instagram. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any of this great content, make sure you subscribe to Goffstown Public Library's YouTube channel. I've enjoyed cooking with you today. I'll come back again with another recipe next week. Until then, happy cooking.